Hello, today I'll be cooking a broad bean curry, and here is one of my ingredients that I'm going to be picking off of their stalks today, and also some fresh coriander leaves and their flowers. And I'm going to put this fly repellent in here, and it's what I've made. And if you go to my channel and you click on short, you'll see how to make this fly repellent. I've put my fly repellent here, so hopefully it should work and get rid of the flies in this polytunnel. And the basil that you can see next to it, I'm gonna pluck a bit of it to add in my food tonight. This is one of our organically grown chilies that we've grown in our polytunnel here. And here are some others of our chilies, not ready yet. And over here are our okra. They aren't doing so good because of this horrible wet damp weather we've had. And here is our monster cucumber plant. And underneath here, if you look deep into it here, you will see some courgettes. Right, most of these peas do not make it to the cooker because I actually eat some of them. Like so, I split it open to get all the nice peas inside. Right, now I'm gonna pick some of these broad beans. Got to twist them off of their stem, and I'm plonking them in the bucket, so then we've got a nice harvest of broad beans. And also I'm gonna actually open one of these up, making sure I split split it open, and this one's got about 2 beans in it, so I'll eat them in a bit. And with the covering of the inside of the broad bean, you can actually rub that on your face. It's a great moisturizer. And now I'm gonna eat these broad beans. That is all I'm going to be picking today. I'm going to be picking a couple of courgettes now. Got you. This is a yellow courgette, which is a different variety of courgettes. Right, with my broad bean harvest, I'm going to now shell some of these so I can actually prep them before I do the meal. Right. Make sure I split it downwards so then you can see how many broad beans you can get in a pod. And then I start getting them out and plonking them there. And like in one bit I said in the video, you can use this as a good moisturizer. Right, when you're shelling your broad beans, make sure that you keep the little stalky bits because you can still eat them. But if there are any nasty bits, make sure you can remove them. But if there are any like these ones, do not add them into the food. Like broad beans, they are full of protein and vitamins. So nice, healthy for people who are vegetarian and possibly vegans. Right, I'm doing the last few and then I'll be adding all of the ones in here into the fridge for another time. And then I'll be adding all these broad bean pods onto my compost heap. Because it all depends on how many broad beans are actually in their pods. Right, I'm gonna use this yellow courgette and I'm gonna use this massive leek in with the food. Bit of this aubergine and this yellow pepper, as well as 4 cloves of garlic and this organically grown chili with so many of these shop bought chilies. And my herbs, I've got fresh basil, fresh coriander, and I've got here curry leaves. And near the end of the meal, I'll be adding in this called Gary. And my spices is turmeric, coriander, and cardamom. Right, Gary is actually something that Africans use, and what it is roasted ground cassava, and you can get this in any African shops. Gary is a good thickener. It gives the broad bean a unique flavour. You only need a tiny pinch of this to sprinkle into your broad beans. In goes a little bit of oil, and this is sunflower oil. Make sure not to do too much of it because you don't want it to be overly greasy in there. And then you add a bit of salt to it. Right, now I'm adding these mixed seeds that I get from the Asian shop and sprinkle them into the frying pan here. When you hear that, that means the oil is very hot and it's ready for one of the first vegetables to go in. Right, start chopping your vegetables and make sure you finely cut your courgette and just make sure it's not too chunky or too thin. Just make sure they're just the right consistency for you. Right, I'm going to be using this much of my aubergine, but before I add it to that, I need to dice this one up. So I'm going to slice down the centre just once, but 3 times, so I get multiple lines, and then I go the opposite way, so I make sure that I have a good consistency of these aubergines. And after I lay the slices down, I then cut them up and then they can be added into the curry. Right, first things to go in are the courgette, aubergine, as well as these broad beans. And make sure you stir them in well. Now add the peppers. Right, make sure to always push out the rings of the leek. It helps the curry, because it will also help to bulk the meal out for you. Right, here comes the last of the leek. And now I'm mixing it in. I add in the curry leaves. They cook well. I'm going to be using the other half of the coconut milk in this can. Making sure all of it comes out. Before I mix it in, then add the water. Right, now in goes the garlic and the chilies. And now I'm gonna rip this fresh basil up and sprinkle it into the food. And same with the coriander. Just strip it off of its stem and just sprinkle it into the food. And you can even cook the flowers in this. And finally, a small pinch of Gary. And then I'll be getting the lid and putting this on a low heat. Right, the lid is going on now, but also make sure to always leave a gap whilst you're cooking, so then the water inside the curry will evaporate, so you don't have too much liquid in your curry. Right, now I'm going to turn off the cooker, and then I'm going to add this into the bowls. And here is the broad bean curry, because with this meal you do not need rice because it is already nice and filling. So I hope you like today's video. Please like and subscribe. If you go onto my channel and press the little me in the corner somewhere, you can then see my other videos that I have done. See you next time.